Hello, ladies and gentlemen from Australia, or should I say good day, mate and mateettes? I don't know. We're just going to go with hello. Hi, my name is Jeremy Leonard. I am known as the Cajun Demonologist. I was asked to do a short video for you guys. So, y'all may notice me from the TV show Ghost of Tiger Island that appears on Travel Channel. Season 1 just aired. It was a great experience. Met a lot of interesting and amazing people. So, as a demonologist, I feel that it's my duty, maybe, to kind of let you guys know the dangers of the paranormal field, because in fact there are many dangers involved in the paranormal field. For one, you want to make sure that you use protection anytime you try to communicate with the dead, okay? Because there is a very real danger involved anytime you try to communicate with the dead. One of the things that really save ghost hunters or paranormal investigators, let's not call ourselves ghost hunters, we're paranormal investigators, right? We're kind of past that. Saying ghost hunter to me is kind of like maybe being an enthusiast or something. You do it for fun. Paranormal world really consumes a lot of people, and it's basically what their whole world's about, which can be dangerous, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But in general, you want to make sure you protect yourself. Now, people have different ways of protecting themselves. Some people use crystals. Some people use sage after doing an investigation. People that have different belief systems do things differently. That's common. And there's not anything wrong with that. Because here's the thing. When it comes to protection, a crystal, a cross, sage, whatever you use to protect yourself, it's nothing but an object. That's all it is. It is a physical object, nothing more. But it's your belief in that object that makes it sacred and makes it protect you. So the key here is to truly believe and what you're wearing is going to protect you. Visualize this in your mind. Visualization is a very, very powerful tool when we're talking about the paranormal. And in spiritual warfare, what I do, this is absolute essential. This is must-know knowledge. But let's get back to communicating with the dead. So, especially when it comes to demons, okay? How do we invite demons into your life? See, a lot of people think that, anybody could be possessed. Demons could basically come and go at will and possess whoever they want. And that is so wrong. There is absolutely no truth to that whatsoever. Because one, a demon has to be invited into your life. Okay? They can't just see, you walking down the road and say, "Oh, man, I like that person. I want to possess them." Doesn't work that way. Sorry to disappoint people, but you got to kind of learn to separate Hollywood from reality. The truth of the matter is that if you go back through history, in mythology and legends and all of these things, let's just use vampires for an example because it's real popular. Most people know what a vampire is, and if you don't know what a vampire is, you probably shouldn't be sitting here right now. Yeah. So anyway, a vampire in mythology, the movies everywhere, they cannot enter into your home unless they are what? Invited in, correct? Yeah, absolutely. Same way with demons. You see, a lot of these mythologies and legends are all based off of demonic entities and how they operate. Demons have a very specific way of how they operate. So, they have to be invited into your life. Well, there's different ways of how they could do that. Let's face it. You're dealing with very, very intelligent beings, way more intelligent than we are. So this happens with using Ouija boards. Doing an EVP session is just as dangerous as a Ouija board. Truth of the matter, this is truth, people. Now, Where people get in trouble with when communicating with the dead by whatever device they want to, Ouija board, tape recorder, digital recorders, doing K2 meters, EMF meters, mel meters, whatever it is. It's just as dangerous. They're all the same. They're all equal. Now, again, the problem comes in when we, or people in general, become personal with a spirit. We think we're talking to Uncle Bob, right? Because he says he's Uncle Bob. We don't know this guy's Uncle Bob. I mean, how do we know? We can't see him. We just hear a voice that says, hey, who are you? Bob. Okay, guess I'm talking to Uncle Bob. I knew Uncle Bob once. No, you see, you have to understand that you can't always trust what a spirit tells you in any way, shape, or form. So the key here is to never get personal with it. Because when you get personal with a spirit or an entity, which is probably an entity, you know, pretending to be a nice spirit, a little girl, puppy dog, aunt, uncle, you know, that kind of thing. So when you ask questions like, who am I going to marry? You know, am I going to win the lottery? Or, you know, things like that. You just got personal. You just invited this entity into your personal space. You've opened yourself up to it. So now it has a right, as in R-I-T-E. That's where they actually get the word right of exorcism. Okay? Because an entity has to have a right to a person. I know, it's very fascinating stuff, right? So with that being said, one way to protect yourself is to never ask questions about yourself to a spirit. Now, when we're investigating someone's home, they're being plagued by something, you know, sure, you could ask questions about the family. Why are you doing this to the family? Who is it that you want? You know, those kind of things, because you are not being personal with this spirit, entity, whatever you want to call it. Okay, you're asking questions about whoever or is affecting. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Hope so. So this is a key factor. We need to really think about this. And remember, when you're dealing with spirits, or spiritual warfare, for an example, if you're a demonologist like me and I have to exorcise a home or exorcise a person for that matter, we have to understand the word spiritual warfare. Spiritual. You get this? You get what I'm saying? Spiritual. All right? It's not anything you can do in the physical realm to do battle with this entity. And it drives me absolutely insane when I see this big, beefed up, manly man, you know, try to go head to toe with a demon and start calling it a coward, calling it out, all of these things. Dude, really? For one, you think that you're going to be able to defeat a spiritual being? Probably not, okay? But if you just want to prove that you're macho man and, you know, you're not scared of a demon or whatever it is, you know, you're going to call them out. You're going to call it a coward, whatever it is. Dude, you're asking for trouble. I have seen with my own eyes a 6'2" man, probably weighed about 300 pounds. He was a preacher. He was going to come and save a client of mine from her demons, right? This man was a very arrogant man, okay? He was full of himself. And that will get you in trouble when you try to go head to toe with an entity or a demon, because that demon knows everything about you. It knows your deepest, darkest secrets. It knows your fears. It knows everything. And that is when it will attack. And that is what it will attack. So what we do is we have to understand, again, spiritual warfare is purely spiritual. It is something that we battle here in our minds. Now, for me, like if I'm doing an exorcism or exorcising a home, whatever the case may be, let's just say for an example, I call upon the archangels. I say Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel. You know, when I call upon these angels, I literally visualize them coming down, bam, You know, they hit the ground, their wings spread out, just powerful beings. They're about 12 foot tall. I visualize this stuff in my head. Same way when I'm doing the actual exorcism or cleansing in the house, I sang the words, but I visualized Jesus standing beside me. And he's saying the same words that I'm saying. He's moving his arms the same way that I'm moving them. Because, in fact, it's not me that's doing it. I have been given authority by Christ. And that authority can be taken away from me if I do this for the wrong reasons. Okay? And a demon is not going to be threatened by me at all. I'm a human. I'm a mortal. They don't fear us at all. But when you visualize in your belief, and this is very, very important, when you do a house cleansing, however you do it, doesn't matter whether you're using sage, what prayers you use, whether you just want to say, I clear this house of all negative energy. Nothing negative shall remain here. Only the positive shall remain. Something simple as that. And waving a little bit of sage around. If you visualize what you're doing, you know, picture a black room when you walk into it and you start saying the prayers, or, you know, whatever it is you say, you waving around the sage or holy water, frankincense, whatever it is. Visualize that blackness being pushed out of the door by light, pure light, okay? Because when you visualize something, it becomes more real to you, okay? Now, the overall key to succeeding in spiritual warfare, whatever the case may be, even though, believe me, people, hear me now, I am not telling you just because you watch some crazy guy in this video right here tell you about how the basics of spiritual warfare is to decide to go and try to do an exorcism on somebody. It's not a good idea. This is not what I'm telling you. You know, to do that, it takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of studying. You have to have a lot of knowledge. All of those things. That's not something you can learn overnight. It takes years upon years upon years, and then you think you know everything, and then you realize you don't. So you got to study some more and some more and some more. But what I'm saying is, you have to truly believe in what you're doing, because if you don't, everything that you've done will be unwound. Okay? Now, hear me on this. This is also very important. Let's just say you do a house cleansing that's, you know, you think maybe it has a demonic entity in it. You finish the ritual in the home, and all of a sudden the client looks at you and says, you didn't come here to do what you said you would do. Okay? Now, that's not a person telling you that. That's an entity trying to convince you that you didn't succeed, because if he can break that train of thought that you had of accomplishing your mission, then guess what? You just undone everything, and he still has a right to be there. So, you know, that's the basic principles of it. And, you know, guys, look, have fun. You know, the paranormal field, in general, I don't know what it's like in Australia, obviously. You know, me, whenever I think of Australia, I think of kangaroos. I mean, I'm not trying to... It's just what I know. Oh, and Mick Dundee. Love that movie. Love that movie. So, yeah, look. The paranormal field in America is kind of crazy. You got a lot of people that think they know everything and they absolutely know nothing. But they're the expert. They'll tell you they're the expert. But in the paranormal field, I have learned that you have to be a very humble person. And this is the reason why. You have to understand how energy works and how it feeds off of itself. Basically, the law of attraction. So let's think about this. You have negative energy on this hand. You have positive energy in this hand, okay? You cannot have these two energies coexist. They can't occupy the same space at the same time, which would be right here in the crease, okay? Neither one of them is occupying that space. There's a crease there. So, but if I take positive energy, guess what? You can fill that gap. So what I'm telling you is we always have to be positive, and whether someone's getting on your nerves in the paranormal field because you know, they think they know everything and you know better, you know they don't know anything, just let it be. Because all you're doing is taking a negative situation and you're feeding that negativity. You have to understand the principles of energy. Negative energy will feed off of itself. Positive energy will feed off of itself. Perfect example, and I'm sure this has happened to every one of us. Wake up in the morning, go to get dressed, can't see nothing, I stomp my toe. Well, yeah, God, you just know it's going to be a bad day, right? And sure enough, it is a bad day. Do we know why? Anybody? Well, let me tell you why. Because you have a negative thought. This goes into visualizing things as well. This is how everything is connected. All right, you've had a negative thought. So that negative energy comes out and it's attracting more negative energy. So sure enough, your day is going to be terrible. Terrible. Been there myself many times. Now, let's look on the other hand. Wake up in the morning, feeling all right, go to the store, get me a cup of coffee. Little old lady's coming walking up, with her little walker, and you open the door for her. She's very grateful. She thanks you. Thank you, sweetheart, and you feel good. You're like, okay, well, I did a good deed today. Look at me, here I am. Sure enough, you're going to have a good day. You know why? Because positive energy is going to feed off of itself. It's very, very basic stuff, people. But, as simple as it is, it seems so hard for some people to really understand. And when we're dealing with the paranormal field, especially here in America, it's so dark, there's a bunch of fighting and arguing and all this stuff going on. My group's better than your group, blah, blah, blah. But no one ever asks us why. Well, the reason is because here we are. We're going into all these locations full of energy. Spirits are energy. We know this, right? And if it's dark energy, well, it's kind of like smoke, It gets in your clothes, but it just kind of lingers on you, and it takes a while for that to anticipate. Same way with if you're in a fire or whatever. It gets in your clothes, it's there for a couple of days. But, we keep going to all these locations, and next thing you know, everybody's at each other's throats. This one's irritating me. She said something mean to me. He's looking at me wrong, that kind of stuff. Let's just pay attention to why this is happening. This is happening because we are possibly in a very dark environment, and there is something trying to separate us. I don't know if you ever heard the old saying, divide and conquer. Well, that's really something that demons really love to try to do, is divide and conquer. Well, the way to defeat that is to not let them divide and conquer. Remember, we are stronger as one. So, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Little short lesson I gave. I hope I wasn't all over the place. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say here. But enjoy your conference, and maybe we'll actually meet one day.